LaCroix. Woo!
Delicious.
Here we are. It is the Wild Times, episode number 83. Welcome back, brosners of the galaxy. Hope everybody is doing well. I'm your host, Forrest Galante, the broologist. Joining me, I'm rolling a lot today. I don't know if you guys can tell. Joining me today is Retep, the brofessor, PhD in podcasting. What's going on, Retep?
You know what? It's fucking 10 in the morning. Normally I'm grim as fuck until at least noon. But today, feeling good. Mowed the lawn yesterday in my new house. Back to my roots, gentlemen. Cheers. With tea.
And joining us, looking a bit sulky, but I know he's bringing a winning attitude, the one and only, the Papa P, the king of the Wild Times meme page. The most memes, hands down, are made about the Broducer. What's up, Patrick?
Hey, I'm not looking sulky. I was.
You were right when I said that. You were like. Right when I started saying that, you were like grumpy-faced, and then it all turned around. Because nothing makes somebody feel less grumpy than when you call them grumpy.
Oh, I know. I know. It's,
yeah, right. It's fucking do that in New York, you're gonna get punched in the face.
If my wife says that to me, she's gonna get punched in the face. I mean, not really, but when you're in a bad mood and someone's like, "Hey, why are you in a bad mood?
What's wrong?
Why are you so grumpy?" I'm just like, God, there is nothing worse that you can do than bring that up.
Get out!
Well, it's funny because if someone does it to me, I'm like, you're making it worse.
Exactly.
But yet, if I'm around someone who's in a bad mood, I have to get to the bottom of it.
Oh, boy. So, Patrick, you're taking
good.
off for a shoot tomorrow.
Yep.
Tell
Nothing
us
too crazy. No,
just
going up for a week up to the mountains of Utah to shoot the finale of a series that's a Discovery Channel show.
That's exciting.
So, yeah, it's fun. We have some fun up there, up in the mountains. It's beautiful up the north. I don't know if I think I've talked about this before, but the northeastern corner of Utah is it's gorgeous.
That's
just
where you saw those
mountains.
elk, and you just said it was really wild, right? Yeah, I've never been to that part of Utah.
Yeah, it's like the part that cuts up and butts up against Wyoming there. Mm-hmm. But everything's just huge, and there's just expansive, just crazy mountains. And some of the driving up there is you're just like winding through these wild mountain passes where it opens into these huge valleys, and you're at like 9,000 feet, and you're looking down like 6,000 feet.
Huh.
So it just has this cool feel of just like that everything's gigantic. Yeah.
How
cool part
long
of the country.
Are you out there for? You there for a few days, a week?
Just like a week. Yeah.
That's nice.
Is this?
Yeah.
Is this where you saw the where you had the alien encounter?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is same spot.
Yeah, that footage will be released on. It's in episode 2. No, it's now the beginning of episode 3.
Cool.
Or do we know what the show is, or can we not say yet?
No, it came out. It was already a first season. It's called Blind Frog Ranch.
Never heard of it.
It's kind of it's a fun show. It's not it's not like a wildlife.
Just kidding.
Yeah, Peter, aren't you starting a job on it on Monday?
I literally am, and I was like,
Never heard
and when
of
I
it.
found out what it was about, I was like, oh, I definitely thought this was about some frogs or some amphibians that were found on this mysterious ranch.
I did a cameo on the show about some mysterious amphibians, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was actually pretty fun.
Can't wait.
Yeah, Forrest, we needed a wildlife guy, and I was like, Forrest, can you do a Skype in 5 minutes and go on air for Discovery Channel? I can't tell you what it's about. And he was just like, sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right. You did a Skype.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Are you excited? Like, you sound stoked, man. That thing about what you just said was about being so high up and looking down, fucking into like a valley that's that deep. That's like as big as the fucking Grand Canyon, mate.
Yeah, it's cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. I highly recommend everyone goes up there. Forrest, what do you got going, man?
Dude, for the first time in so long, nothing. It's such a treat. I was figuring it out. I haven't been home for more than 2 weeks since February. And I've got absolutely nothing on the docket from when I got home day before yesterday until December 15th when I'm going back up to Northern California to do more mushroom hunting, which is 5.5 whole weeks of being at home, and I'm planning nothing, not one thing.
I don't believe you, though, because I feel like you said this at an earlier point this year, and like 3 days later, you're like, sorry, guys, I'm on a boat.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll definitely go on a boat and go hiking and do all the things I like to do, but I'm not planning on any major trips, nothing cross-country, nothing international, and I'm going to try and keep it that way. You're right, though. By tomorrow at this time, I'll be, like, stomping my foot, like, up and down and
pouting.
Being like, gotta get out of here. So that'll be me tomorrow. But right now, I feel really good about it.
Nice.
So I got a fun Brosner DM. Now, this is pretty wild, okay?
What you got?
Came from @Rai_Parkstar. It says, question for Forrest. I was listening to another podcast where the host is from Zimbabwe. That raises some questions for me. And they were discussing smoking weed and said it is custom when smoking, especially in some religious practices, to pee on the herb before smoking it and apparently blesses and makes it stronger. Couldn't find much online, but was wondering if this was true in any parts of Africa or if they were just blowing smoke. Thanks. Love the podcast. I've never heard of this. Okay.
Me and my friends used to stick our weed up our ass before we smoked it. So
I believe that.
And it definitely increased the potency. So
I believe that as well.
Yep.
No, okay,
Smelled real
sorry,
good,
Patrick,
too.
you were, before Retep said something very stupid,
yeah.
you were going to say something.
Well,
Very
actually,
funny. Hilarious.
but did you guys actually do that or no?
Only when we had to smuggle our weed into onto planes and whatnot.
Oh, boy.
Oh, okay.
But no, we didn't put our butt up our ass.
Your butt
Well,
up
you,
your ass?
you definitely shouldn't put your butt up your ass.
That would be very hard to do.
Bud. B-U-D-D-D. Bud.
I have never heard of this, but sorry. Well,
Was
go
there
ahead,
a lot of
Patrick.
weed in Zimbabwe? Like, were you aware of marijuana? Was that a thing that was easy to get?
So
in
that was
Africa?
that was one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this question because it was really, really interesting. I mean, today, California, pretty much the U.S., weed's everywhere, right? It's not even legal anymore. Where I grew up, weed was just that. It was literally a weed. It used to grow in the ditches beside our driveway, which is like kind of where the rain runoff would go. You know, there's like a little ditch beside the road kind of thing. And it was everywhere. And it was like considered, I'm trying to think of what like a good analogy would be. It was like considered like the guys that drink like Monster Energy drinks would do it. You know what I mean? Where you're like,
Oh,
why?
man, that's so perfect. By the way, when I'm wearing this stupid fucking flat-brimmed hat because I couldn't find my other one slightly sideways like this, I'm a Monster Energy drink guy.
Absolutely you are. But that's what weed was in Zimbabwe. It was everywhere, and it was kind of only like tools that were interested in it. And you're like, well, sure, yeah, I guess you can go pick that thing out the ditch and dry it and smoke it, but I don't really see the point. Like, grow up and do coke like an adult, you know?
Yeah.
No, I mean...
I got when I worked on a farm back in the day for many years, and there was this weed that grew rampantly on farms in Illinois. It's called gypsum weed.
Okay.
And I don't know if you ever heard of it, but if you take it, it makes you trip balls, but not in a good way. But and I was I experimented with whatever the fuck I could back in the day. But again, just a weed in a field, and I was, as a young boy, amazed that there was just something that could grow around me that could get me high. And so I collected a large box of this weed from the field, and then I investigated it some more, but it just sat in my driveway. And upon investigating it more, it gives you like a terrifying, horrible nightmare trip. And I just had it in a box in my driveway, like drying forever. And I never ended up taking it. But I was like, all the people that worked with me who never did drugs or anything like that were like, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. I'm just like, I was just fascinated that there's something growing around me that I could just pick and fucking get high off of, you know?
That's interesting. So one of the reasons I brought up that DM is I thought of a new interesting segment that we can do on the show. Zimbabwe.
Nice.
Okay, so Zimbabwe is very far removed from America, right? And I don't just mean geographically, like culturally. And so growing up, you know, we grow up here and you'd be like, hey, cool dude, right? We still say that's cool dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought of a segment for the podcast where I will say a Zimbabwean slang term, something similar to like, that's cool dude. And you guys have to see if you can figure out what I'm saying.
Oh, I love it. Is there a jingle for this, Retep?
Wow, yeah! That works.
That works, yeah.
That's a jingle.
How about this?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
What a mess.
Hey, I mixed that
All
myself.
right. This is part 1 of Deciphering Zimbabwean Slang. How about this?
Great title for a game.
That's lekker my china.
Don't lick my vagina.
Nope.
Nope. That's
I can say
lekker
it again.
machina?
That's lekker my china.
Oh, that's
Lekker
basically you're kind of saying I like that. It's tickling my fancy.
These are good guesses. So I'll break it down for you. Lekker, L-E-K-K-E-R, is an Afrikaans word that means like good, great, cool. You know, that one's not that far out there. So lekker, like if something's lekker, it's
Lekker.
like dope, right? Like that's dope. That's
Nice.
lekker. My china
Lekker.
is what we
Yeah.
say in Zimbabwe, which is not very PC anymore. But you'd call each other, like, instead of saying bro or dude, you're my china. So that's Mecca, my china, would mean like, that's great, man. That's awesome.
That's cool, bro.
That's cool, bro. Yeah, that's
Okay.
Mecca, my china.
Wow.
We should start that on the podcast. Mecca Machina, bros.
Well, I don't
You
know where
didn't
you
say it right, but yeah, there's no M.
I
right.
like how you
Perfect.
clearly enunciated that it's lekker, and then he goes, "That's mecca machina."
You guys are crazy. I think there's some kind of miscommunication in the microphones.
Yep, that's got to be it.
Okay, let's do
I
another
think
one.
There's a lot. You want to do another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
My china.
Yeah. What if I say,
Mecca.
head out for a dop brew?
Oh, I mean that's easy. We're gonna go
Okay.
drinking. We're gonna go out drinking tonight.
You're going to have a Duff beer. A Duff
You're
beer.
pretty much both right. So a dop
Yeah.
means a drink, and brew is like the African version of bro. So let's grab a dop brew means like let's grab a drink, bro.
Could I say, "Let's grab a dop my china" in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
you could.
So if I like went through airport security in Harare, and I was smuggling out a fossil as we are prone to do.
We have done, yeah.
and the guy was like, "Hey," and then I paid him, and then we did a handshake. Could I be like, "My china"?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's totally here. Obviously, we're going to get canceled for even acknowledging this.
100%.
But in Zimbabwe, it's totally you could say that, and it's on the up and up.
Oh, it's a positive thing. My china is
Okay.
like it's like saying bro. Like you're my
yeah.
china. Like that's a good thing.
Interesting. Do you know
yeah.
where that came from? Like what the etymology of that is? Is it
Absolutely
China
no
seen
idea.
as aspirational?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't know if it's a lot of these things are like Afrikaans slang. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering, if there's like a Dutch word, China, that means something, but I have
maybe.
absolutely no clue. It's like I don't know what the origin of dude is. Do you? What is dude from?
I think it's a hair on a horse's ass.
I think it's maybe related to like cowboy stuff. That's
I don't know.
really okay. I'm going to look it up. You guys guess. What do you think the etymology of the word dude is?
Okay. Well, I know a dude ranch is a ranch in which people that aren't actually cowboys go to ride horses and pretend they're cowboys. So I'm gonna say dude is a cowboyish word for somebody that's kind of learning, figuring out the ropes.
Okay. It's so good. Okay, what's your guess, Peter?
I literally think it has something to do, or it's a term for a hair on a horse's ass.
Yeah, I don't know where you. Okay.
Why do you think that? Yeah.
You must have a weird uncle that told you that when you were a kid, and it's stuck in a brain cell.
Yeah, just one brain cell.
Yeah, no,
One
this
hair.
is hilarious actually. So it came from American English in the 1870s is where it first appeared.
Okay.
They believe it was shortened from doodle, which it used to be doodle, which was a derivation of Yankee Doodle, and it was meant to describe a man who dressed in an extremely fancy manner. Otherwise, it was basically a rural person being like, "Yeah, you city doodle."
Oh wow, that's
Like
hilarious.
you're a city boy.
That's
so doodle
hilarious.
was kind of negative.
Yep.
And then it became dude, and then now it just means everything.
Right. It really does just mean everything. See, I
Yeah.
mean, you don't. It's like you use these words, but you really have no idea where they come from or what they mean. Anything.
Me and my group of friends, and Peter, of course, uses it quite a bit now. We invented a word in 1995 or 6, so early high school for us.
Okay.
And The word is, we wanted one word that just described like bad behavior, like I can't believe what you're doing, right?
Okay.
Ugh, I'm in a state of disbelief at your shocking actions. So we created this word called bestief.
Bestief, yes, I've heard you say it several times, and not knowing what it means. Okay.
and it's Retep kind of has created his own version, which is he just says bestief grief. Like
I've heard him say that, and I have no idea. I just kind of like nod, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Try to not say it on the podcast, but now I can freely because everybody knows what it means.
But it's pretty funny because one of my first friends in LA was Nick Swartzen, who's was a comedian for a long time and an actor, right? He's just like one of the first guys we met, became part of our friend group. And so he immediately took on bestief and then started spreading that to like his Hollywood friends.
Oh, no way. Did it catch on?
Some of them, like, I mean, there's like, I'm not trying to sound like Joe Hollywood here, but like, there's definitely like a handful of celebrities who like actively use bestief within their friend groups. It's very useful.
Yeah. It's a good,
also,
and it sounds like a
tongue.
real word.
It does.
Yeah. Unlike,
it's catchy.
Unlike a story I will tell that's somewhat similar to that. So, Ricardo, friend of the pod, he's typically hilarious. When we were in college, he decided that he was going to coin a word and get it in Urban Dictionary and make it very cool. Okay. And that word was something to describe something that's just like unbelievably awesome, like over the top, next level, like fantastic. Okay? And the word was cummy. And so he started. You heard me say it? Yeah. No, unfortunately, I sort of stuck with me a little bit, like you get, pun intended. And he started saying it around school and around the frat. He'd be like, "Oh man, that's super cummy," and like not blink an eye, not say anything, and it just sort of slowly started catching on. So, whatever, like, we thought it was funny. We were 20 years old, you like forget about those things. Then we went back to UCSB for an alumni thing, and it was him and I, Graber, friend of the pod, a couple of my rugby buddies, and we went back to UCSB. This has got to be like 5-6 years ago now for an alumni thing. And we're on the field because it's UCSB rugby alumni, and there's a bunch of the frat guys. It's like a huge alumni weekend. There's a bunch of us all hanging out, and this kid scores a try, runs off, high fives his buddy, and his buddy goes, "Bro, that was so cummy," and we're like, "No way!" Like, I can't believe that stood the time. Like 10 years later, amazing. It's still going. And he just absolutely spreaded that.
I love that.
With Pat and bestief, though, it had something to do with the way that you said it, where it was like catchy, like a tune. And sometimes it would be like, "Nifty bestief," or I don't know how you did it, but like it just is. It's like becomes a habit for the other person. You just start saying it kind of like out of amazement or something. So it's and it rolls off the old tongue. Cummy,
it's a good word. It's a good. Well, cummy less so. Cummy should not roll off anybody's tongue.
No, it's fucking disgusting.
Makes me think of chunky semen.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, Peter, why do that?
I apologize. I had some phlegm in my throat.
Forrest, so I'm a big fan of the show Yellowstone. As you know, I've talked about it on the show. It's a great
Please tell me you've watched the first 2 episodes.
I have. I got to ask you about a moment.
Okay.
Wait, you thought it was good, right?
Fantastic, except
so good.
A lot of people got really shot and blown up and didn't die, but still very, very good. Yeah,
yeah, like
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of it's super violent, but there's a scene, and I'm not going to say who's involved.
Oh, I know out the cooler. I know where you're going.
The rattlesnake.
Yeah.
I was a little bummed about that because it's like, just do one Google search.
Totally.
So there's a scene where one character approaches another character and he's got a cooler and he's like, "Is this your cooler, man?" And he flips open the lid of the cooler and throws the cooler. When he flips the lid open, you see inside there's a large snake, which quickly makes a rattling sound, to me indicating it's meant to be some sort of North American rattlesnake. The snake flies out, perfectly bites the man in the face.
Yep.
And about 15 seconds later, the man is dead.
Yep, exactly.
What are your thoughts on this, Forrest? Is that pretty accurate?
It's terrible. It's really bad. So in Montana, there's only one species of rattlesnake, which is the prairie rattlesnake. which happens to be one of the most mild venom rattlesnakes there are, Crotalus viridis. And it was awful, first of all, because I love the show as well, and I know it's not like all super accurate, and people don't get riddled with gunfire and walk away from it and all of that. But,
Right.
It's a great show, and exactly what Patrick describes. They open the thing, you can tell it's a rattlesnake. He throws it on the guy, it bites him on the neck, and he walks like 150 feet and then just dies. And you're like, I was just like, come on. Like, it's so bad. Like, if you're bitten by a prairie rattlesnake, it hurts a little bit. You're likely going to survive no matter what, and you have like 4 days with which to get treated before things get bad. And this guy makes it, like Patrick said, 15 seconds before he topples over completely dead.
I'm really confused because the show is so well done. It's, beautifully shot. I mean, it's pretty much executed very well, but that's just so bizarre. Like, why not just throw a beetle at him and have that bite him and then he dies?
Can I tell you how they could have made it 100% accurate with the same storyline?
Sure.
So,
yes.
Rattlesnake, this is interesting. I should do this for movies. This would be, because there's so many of these where I see this and I want to like flip my desk over. So
Right.
rattlesnake venom is very, very, very similar to a bee sting, to bee venom. Okay? All they had to do was establish earlier in a prior season that character had an allergy to bees. I don't want to give away the show, but say that character was out fishing or hunting or hiking, and you just do one quick scene where he's like, oh shit, I can't get stung by a bee, I'm allergic to bees.
Right.
Now you've established that he has a bee allergy, because someone who's allergic to bees that will go into anaphylactic shock from a bee sting is going to have a reaction that's 10 times worse from a rattlesnake venom because the venom is so similar, and could actually die in 15 seconds, very much so like someone who's allergic to bees dies from a bee sting. So all that character had to do was establish 1 or 2 seasons prior a very quick thing to show that he's allergic to bees. Same exact storyline, snake hits him, goes for his EpiPen or whatever, and the guy steps on his hand and keeps him from using his EpiPen. Perfect. Absolutely no problems. Accurate. Emmy.
Forrest, this should definitely 100% be a recurring segment on the podcast where you do this. For
That's a great
different
idea.
movies. It's literally like that was entertaining. I feel like.
Well, it's also a great
bees out of a cooler.
It's a great segue to an article that I texted you guys. The headline of this article was my dream come true when I was 12 years old.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Bring it up.
The headline is very simple. Man jumps into lake to escape being stung by bees, is eaten by piranhas.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think, actually? Did you click the article, Retep?
No, but I just said that my life is now complete because anybody actually getting killed by piranhas, I was just like, it only happens in movies and it can't be a real life thing, and now it's happening.
I know. I was and I'm sorry for the man who died, but I was so excited about this story because just an amazing headline. And then I actually, unfortunately, read it. It was a bunch of people. They jumped into this lake because there was a huge swarm of bees, and one of the guys didn't know how to swim, drowned, and was quickly eaten by piranhas.
Oh, interesting. I didn't read the drown part of that.
The piranhas didn't kill him,
but did you know this? I'm going to give you guys each a stab at this. We can play this. It's the same as our movie game, okay? Mm-hmm. In what scenario would the piranhas have actually eaten that guy? Because, by the way, the whole fearsome piranha reputation is grounded in fact, but it takes certain environmental conditions to make them behave like that. Do you have any idea why or when that might happen?
I have a guess. Well, unfortunately, I think I know the answer. So
let Retep go
really
first
fair.
then.
Yeah.
It would be all right. My guess is going to be like if they get into, I don't know what the environmental factor would be. I guess maybe, but they get into like a frenzy and get henhouse syndrome or something because it's too hot.
That's a very good guess, and the fact that you've learned about henhouse syndrome in the 83 weeks that we've been doing this is phenomenal.
I've learned.
Yeah, he has.
I've learned.
I believe it's during dry season when the body of water that they're living in, rivers typically, I believe, right? Rivers, well, it's freshwater, right?
Yeah, freshwater. Rivers, pools, lakes, they're in everything.
Yeah, so it's dry season. They parts of the body of water dry up. So they end up in these pools where they're separated off from food sources, and they're just fucking starving. So the first thing that steps in there, puts its hand in there, is getting devoured.
It's exactly right. You've got it. And it's amazing because there's some videos of it online where you see like, you know, a monkey falls in or something like that.
God.
And it looks like the water's boiling because the fish just go into such a state of frenzy. And one of the times that it happens the most regularly, and that's still pretty uncommon, is, so there's a lot of farming in Brazil, Argentina, and South America, cattle farming, and they farm on these floodplains because, you know, water floods these plains and then it recedes, and that makes all this fresh green grass because they've cut down all the jungle and trees, and it's great for cattle grazing. Well, when that water recedes, all of the piranhas get targeted into these little pools that the cows go to drink from or swim in or whatever, and it's sort of just a matter of time until the piranhas eat all the other smaller piranhas, eat all the other fish and caiman and everything else in there, and then one unsuspecting cow goes for a drink or a swim or whatever, and it just gets absolutely devoured down to the bone.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, cool.
So obviously piranha's teeth are small. They're small fish, but they're fucking super sharp. Oh, cool. I'm wondering, like, how... I guess it's just that there's lots of them.
For anybody on listening, we have a YouTube, and this is a set of piranha jaws that I brought back from the Colombian Amazon. So I caught this piranha, we cooked him and ate him, and then I boiled his jaws to get all the flesh off and brought it back.
It's actually bigger than I thought. Damn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No,
those teeth are...
it'd do some serious damage.
I mean, that's probably
like that.
what? That's probably about the size of, like, a Shih Tzu's jaw.
Yeah, it's the size of a small dog. And keep in mind, this was from like a 4 or 5 pound fish. And some of them get bigger than this, but this was a pretty nice one. But yeah, look at those teeth. And the thing is, so look, it's really hard to show on Zoom, but so each tooth is slightly curved backwards. They're interlocking, and then the front side is sharp and the back side is serrated. So they're just made for just tearing through flesh, regardless of what the flesh is. Jesus. And so, by the way, these fish are predatory fish, so much so that they'll eat the fins off of each other. So when you're fishing in the Amazon, I've caught dozens of fish that you're reeling in, and you're fighting the fish, and then you pull it in, and it's just bleeding because a piranha has seen it fighting, come up and nailed it, and just taken a chunk out of it like a cookie cutter shark kind of thing. And they're menacing.
So for the Brosners who may or may not find themselves someday in the Amazon in a survival situation, they have their fishing pole because they're smart.
Yep.
You hook a piranha, you pull it out. How do you get the hook out? What do you do? Do you just let it sort of flop?
Pliers. Oh, God, no. Do not put your fingers near a piranha mouth. So you need, look at this. I've got everything on my desk. You need a set of Leatherman pliers, something that I always have on me, and so does pretty much everybody that works in the camera department. And you do not want to put your finger anywhere near that mouth. And the thing is, it's the same as shark fishing or anything else. You can control where you put your hands, but the speed at which those animals can strike and move their jaws around, there's no way that you can sort of back out in time. And if a piranha like this size gets your fingertip, it's gone. There's no question about it. It's not. It's a guillotine.
Well,
it's like putting your hand in a fucking circle.
I mean, imagine 60 of those all at once. You just jump in. You're like, I'm going to take a quick, refreshing dip. You jump in, and then 60 of those are on you because they haven't eaten in 2 weeks.
My buddy Nick Clear, who is the guy that I was in the Pantanal with when we filmed that caiman getting eaten by the jaguar. Nick was down there for the whole season. He's a South African guy, and he spent like 3 or 4 months down in the Pantanal. And they swim a lot of the days, even though there's tons of caiman and stuff, and caiman don't really bug you, but it gets boiling hot, so they hop in the water. And I saw just about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago now, he was swimming, same exact place that him and I had been swimming when I was down there, and a big, like a dime-sized chunk had been taken out of his heel. And what he said was he had a small blister on the back of his heel from his boots, and he thinks that when he got in the water, it must have opened up or something like that, so it was bleeding just a little bit, and a piranha came up and just took it and just hit the back of his heel and took that chunk out, and he was like, oh shit, and like ran out of the water, but went from having a tiny blister to having like a quarter-sized hole in the back of his heel.
Jesus. It made me Google what I was like, okay, I want to see what the most dangerous freshwater fish is.
Oh, I know the answer.
What do you got?
Well, I know what the one I'm the most terrified of. I don't know that it's the most dangerous.
Okay, what are you going to say?
The candiru.
Is that the Goliath tigerfish?
Oh, no. God, no. That's much less scary.
Okay.
Well, you could talk about the Goliath tigerfish, and then I can tell everybody what a candiru is, if you'd like.
Oh, I look, Goliath tigerfish is just a fucking, looks like it's about a 30, 40-pound fish with gigantic fangs. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of pictures of Jeremy Wade holding one from River Monsters.
Yep.
Candiru is about the size of a tiny little worm. I have a feeling I know why they're
tiny.
so scary.
It's like the tip of this pen. It's absolutely tiny.
Do they swim up your pee-pee hole?
Sure do.
Yeesh.
So the candiru is a tiny parasitic catfish, okay? So catfish are the most diverse group of freshwater fishes in the world. There's catfish on every single planet except for every single continent except for Antarctica. And they're super, super diverse. Well, in the Amazon, in literally the same exact place that piranhas live, is this tiny parasitic catfish called the candiru. Now, what this fish does in its ecology is it swims into the gills of other fish and lodges its spines in, which causes the gills to bleed and release ammonia that the fish is, or it causes the gills to bleed. But in fish blood is a high levels of ammonia. Okay. Well, what else is ammonia in? It's in our urine. Mm-hmm. So people that go swimming in the Amazon decide to take a leak in the pool or to take a leak in the river, and up into your urethra swims the candiru. Now, here's the thing. Once this little fish swims up your urethra, you can't just grab it with a pair of pliers and pull it back out, because it has backwards-facing spines that it uses. When it swims up, it then extends those spines and lodges into the gills or urethra to make that bleed so that it can get that fish blood, or in this case, your pee-pee blood, and that's it. And the only way... By the way, I've looked into this a lot because I'm terrified of this thing.
Yeah, it's scary.
The only way to get a candiru removed from your penis, if it happens, is to butterfly your penis open all the way, lift it out, and sew it back together. There is no medical way that they can go in through the urethra and remove it.
You might be better off just letting it live in there.
Totally. Just stay there. You're fine. Yeah. So that's nice.
That's a nightmare. Oh my
Literally,
God.
that is a nightmare.
Oh my God.
So wait, what does the candiru eat ammonia, or are they able to process the NH3 and sort of get everything they need?
I don't know the answer to that. I know that they're looking for blood, like a parasite, and so in the gills of fish, that's what they're after.
Okay.
And
in the gills of fish. Good movie title.
And I don't know that that's what happens in your urethra. I don't really know how that works.
I don't want to go swimming anymore.
No, I'm so terrified of this fish that when I'm in the Amazon and I pee like this so that I break the stream so that nothing swims up the stream, even though that is basically impossible.
Yeah, that's like the fear of sitting on the toilet and like a snake coming and biting your ball sack.
Dude, it is an awful thing. When we were filming in Colombia, I kept trying to offer money to make the guys pee while we were swimming, because every night we'd bathe in the river.
You are a rotten pile of shit.
Yes, I'm a terrible person. So we'd be bathing at night, and it's dark, and you're in the water because we've had a long day, and I'd be like, "Hey, Trevor, $100 if you take a leak right now." And he'd be like, "No," and I just keep upping the ante and baiting him. And nobody took to that.
So it just reminded me. So I years ago met a guy in Key West who's a cab driver who had written an autobiography, and he gave me a copy of his book, and we ended up working together, and I developed it into a screenplay.
Okay, nice. Yes, I know that story.
Never got made, but I went back and reread it, and it's really good. I'm really proud of it. But he spent 7 years in a prison in Cuba for drug smuggling.
That's right.
And it was basically the prison he was in. It was just essentially a gigantic circular building, and everyone was in the same room.
Okay.
And there was a room with toilets, but they were just holes in the ground. And there's just thousands and thousands of rats that lived inside these holes that were waiting for people to poop. to eat the shit.
Nice.
And he said, so what you had to do for 7 years, imagine doing this every time you had to take a dump ski, because the hole was only like this far from the ground.
Okay.
So people had stories about rats like jumping up and biting their beanbag. And so what you do is you fill a bucket of water, you throw it in there, and that would make them scurry. And then you like, as fast as you can, take the shit so that you're not, don't have rats jumping up and trying to grab your buns.
Oh my
That sounds really bad, especially in the morning. Because in the morning, I need a minute. Like I'm not rushing it out in the morning. I need 10 to 12 minutes. I'm
exactly.
not. Yeah.
I need 10 to 12 minutes. I need to look at my DraftKings. I need to check Instagram.
It's the time. It's the
How
time
do you
of day
live without that?
Oh man.
It's a cool story for another sort of wildlife related thing he didn't think he was ever going to get out, right? Because Fidel Castro had gone on television and announced that they were giving life sentences to drug smugglers. And so he thought he was never getting out, and he was contemplating, like, this sucks. Like, do I just end it? Like, what do I do? And so he went to sleep one night, and there were holes, right, where, like, rats and animals would come in. It was just a shitty old brick structure.
Okay.
And so there were holes, and it was drafty, whatever. And he basically, when he went to sleep, he's like, God, if you exist, give me some sort of sign that I shouldn't kill myself. Like, just give me something. And he went to sleep, and he said he woke up in the middle of the night because he felt something touching him, and a tiny little fucking kitten had come in and was on his chest.
Had climbed in through the window?
It just came in through, like, one of the holes in the bricks, right? It was just some feral cat kitten. Huh. And he ended up naming the kitten Tiger, and he raised it, and that became his cat, and that was like his pet, and that was his sign that he felt like, okay, I should stay. And then he eventually, through a really cool confluence of events, was able to escape the prison and make it back to the U.S.,
And he should have used Tiger to keep the rat toilets away.
That's true. He's a good mouser.
What's the
Tiger.
name? I want to read the book now. God damn it.
Yeah, you got to write that.
I did. It's great. It's a great screenplay. I just, it's really hard to get anything made, especially a prison movie.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, one day. I'm actually thinking about turning it into a podcast.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be cool.
A real podcast where they do like the sound effects and you do interviews. A lot of work.
Yeah, like
a lot of work.
Like a serial type thing.
Yeah. So I've been on like a teen pop rock bender lately. Yep. Okay. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. It's a lot of Sum 41. Been getting some good Charlotte in there. You know the bands. Yeah, you know the bands. So I thought, as I've been listening to that through every workout lately, drinking C4 energy drinks, I'd propose a top 3 and DFL of bad pop rock bands.
Ooh. Now,
like that?
I think it's great. I think Retep is frantically looking for the jingle. No, he wasn't. He was looking at something else. I like it.
He's got Pornhub open.
Number 2, number 3. Yeah.
Ooh.
Dead fucking lost.
God, our jingles are
Forrest, can you go first?
Sure. Happy to.
Okay.
Top 3. Number 3. It's a classic. Doesn't get enough credit, but we got to take it to the Matthews Bridge. Limp Bizkit.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Yeah, you put on some Limp Bizkit.
Okay.
It's just like, it's such garbage music. Like, everything about it's trash. I mean, it's like Patrick's hat. It's bad.
It's awful. Yeah.
Love me some Limp Bizkit, but not as much as the next two. Coming in at number 2, it doesn't quite hit that category as much as maybe some of the others, but it's something I feel like every single time I hear it, I want to hear more of it. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. Do they count as like a bad pop rock band though?
I don't know. You tell me. I could leave them out because I got plenty.
Okay, yeah, leave them out. They're kind of legit.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're good. RHCP is out of the equations. We got Limp Bizkit in 3. This is sort of a guilty pleasure. I know every song off of almost all of their albums. Sum 41 at number 2.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's great. It's great. Yeah. They're great. And do you remember the spiked hair and they're on the roof with the guitars and it's fantastic. And then number 1, in my opinion, the greatest band of all time, makes the Beatles and John Lennon together look like dog shit, Blink-182.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
Love Blink-182. Like, there is no better music to be outside, shirts off, beach volleyball, drinking a beer.
Shirts off.
Yeah, Blink-182.
And who's your DFL?
DFL, I don't understand why she ever picked up. I don't get it. I'm pretty sure she had sex with both of my top two. Avril Lavigne. He was not a skater boy. It's terrible music. It's like, if she came out now, she would be super popular. She's like, it is like the Taylor Swift of the early 2000s. But Taylor Swift's actually talented, whereas Avril Lavigne was just a train wreck.
Skater Boy is one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
Right? That's what I'm saying. And then people were like, he was a skater
so
boy.
bad.
It's just, shut up. It's terrible. Stop crying.
It's also spelled SK, the number 8RBOI.
Yeah.
Skater Boy.
That'll do it for you. So that's my top three
Came on
DFL.
the other day. It's terrible.
I have an unfair advantage
bad.
because I've been just hammering the bad pop rock lately. So
Oh man, no, I don't want to take any of your. I don't want to repeat any. So, Blink-182 would definitely be on there, but in the interest of no repeats, number
fair.
3 for me, My Chemical Romance.
oof, good
Yeah.
one.
The
Yeah,
Black
they're
Parade
great.
is just a great song. It's
great.
You need a little boost when you're doing your impeccable workout. Throw a Black Parade on; it'll get you.
What a great call. Fantastic.
Number
call.
2 is a female, and I'm embarrassed to admit that I kind of like this band. Female vocalist.
Evanescence.
No.
Alanis Morissette.
Paramore.
Paramore. Ooh.
They had some
What a
bangers.
call. Yeah,
they
there's
had
a
some
couple
fucking
really good ones.
And number 1, easy for me. I'm ashamed to admit I love about 20 of their songs. Fall Out Boy.
Wow. I did
yeah.
not see you as a Fall Out Boy kind of guy.
They got
No
some
way.
fucking great songs off those first couple albums.
No question. I'm just very surprised to hear you publicly admit that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the memories. Come on, man. Fuck, great. So I'm gonna listen to the shit out of some Fall Out Boy today.
Right? After this conversation, you're like, I'm going to build a playlist immediately.
Yeah. Dead fucking last. They sucked. I hated the singer's voice, and they have the dumbest band name of all time. You get one shot, right? Most people, when you're starting an emo band, you're not going to have a second band, right?
Right.
You got one shot. That's what you're going to be known for. Imagine deciding to name your band Hoobastank.
Hoobastank. Oh, I'm so with you, dude. They're terrible. I was
So
ready
bad.
to fight you because I thought you were going to say a good band.
No.
I also really don't like Hoobastank. It's so whiny. It's such whiny music.
I'm not a perfect
Exactly.
person. Shut up.
Oh,
no one
God,
thought you
that
were.
song.
No one thought you were a perfect person. You don't have to
no.
whine about it.
Here's the
love that
problem.
call.
Now you sang it for less than 1 second, and it will be stuck in everyone's head for the rest of the week.
No question.
And the reason is,
Oh, it's so,
It's so bad, dude.
It's so bad.
How that ever hit the charts, I have no idea.
Quick story, just quick sidebar. I was just moved to LA. I had not even a chance of getting so much as a kiss from a girl for like 10 months. I was, just a sloppy guy who was drinking a lot of beer. I had no money. 3 guys living in a 1-bedroom. And somehow met this attractive young lady. And she...
Was this the coffee shop girl by chance?
No. Oh, no. That was like 4 years ago.
Oh, never mind.
I'm going way back.
Okay.
But she fancied herself a singer. She wanted to be a singer. And we went on a hike. And she just kept fucking singing that song. But like trying really hard and like singing it beautifully. And I was just like, I can't. Like, I don't care. I can't hang out with you.
That is so brutal.
That's terrible.
Dude, if you're in LA, you can't date. This is what happens. I mean, I can't believe there's not a fucking show that's
be
going
honest-
on Tinder dates.
Sorry, Retep. Dude, there used to be MTV
No, that's it. Go
Next.
ahead.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. What was the other one?
Next.
Party of Five?
Graber was on Next, by the way.
What, did he get
God.
nexted?
Oh, yeah, and it was classic because we were all in college when he went on it. And so they do a date at like a hot dog cart, like in downtown LA. Like she gets off the bus, they do their little date, and then he gets nexted, and he goes, well, she missed out on the best hot dog of all. And then just walks off, and they aired it, and it's so solid.
Retep's ex-roommate who was also my roommate for years, who's a comedian named Matt Ralston, he went on next when we were all living together. And they were nice enough to tell him when it was going to air, so we made a whole thing, and he didn't tell us what was going to happen. He at this time was a real drunk, like a sloppy fucking idiot. And so I knew he said that he was drinking on the bus. So she necks a couple guys, goes through the stuff, whatever. And Matt's sitting on the bus. And so now it's his time because the second guy gets nexted. And they cut to his little interview and he goes, for no reason, he goes, I'm going to give this girl a taste of my man meat. Takes one step down, isn't even off the bus, and she just goes, next.
That's the worst, man. You just don't even make it a
so
step
good.
down.
Because it means you're ugly.
It's good.
It's purely
it means
based
you're
on
ugly.
looks.
It's 100% aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Woof.
What do you got, Rutep? What's your list?
All right, quickly, my number 3, Taking Back Sunday. It's a good one.
Okay.
Like that band.
What's a Taking Back Sunday song? I know I'd recognize it, but
I have to Google it.
I do too.
Yeah. Number 2, because we've spent so much time, I'll just go quickly. The
right.
Used.
We're good.
You guys remember that, right? Red and Yellow, Taste of Ink.
I don't even know what
So
you're saying,
good.
sir.
The Used? What do you mean?
I'll have to add these to my playlist.
Yeah.
I don't know these bands.
Okay.
And then
That's all right.
That's great. You guys have never heard real good emo.
Apparently
And
not.
then
This is not
number
supposed to be
1
about
is
emo,
the
by the
band.
way.
Well,
Go ahead.
Pat mentioned the word emo several times, and you didn't call him out. You son of a bitch.
His were very pop rocky. Go ahead.
Number 1 is a band called Brand New. These are all pop rocky, dude, for sure. Have you ever heard of Brand New?
No.
I've heard of them. I can't name a song. And I doubt you can either.
You guys are fucking. Yeah, 'cause they all
Name a
have
song by
very
Brand New without Googling.
Jesus Christ.
That's not the name of a song.
Yes, it is.
I don't
It's
know.
also the name of a religious icon. You guys are the worst. I hate this game.
No,
but my
sorry,
worst.
we thought you'd have cooler picks than that.
My DFL though, you're definitely gonna know, and I'm gonna tell you why. She is my DFL, and it's Fergie and the Black Eyed Peas, but Fergie in particular, because I heard an interview with her. Ryan Seacrest was interviewing her, and he knew her from back in the day before she was super famous.
Okay.
And he called her by her real name, Stacy, and she interrupted the interview and said, "I don't go by that anymore. It's Fergie." And I was like, I can never listen to another one of her songs ever again. Like, I can't stand her.
That
I
just
thought
felt
she was
too
Her name's
pretentious.
Stacy.
Her name's
Too
Stacy.
pretentious. Yeah. Stacy something Ferguson.
Stacey Ferguson,
That's where
I
she
think
gets
is her
Fergie
name.
from.
Fergie from.
Fergie.
Okay.
Everybody should listen to Brand New, The Used, and Taking Back Sunday.
Taking Back Sunday is the only 3 of those bands I've heard of.
Well, you've heard of them all now, and you can
Yeah.
tell people that you've heard
I'm
of them.
Googling them so that I can listen to their music after this, and I hope it doesn't make me sad while I'm working out.
It's going to make you so sad. It's going to be like 10 BPM, very minor chords. You'll be crying.
The
All right.
Used.
Well,
Sounds brute.
I have to go pretty soon. Do we?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to play a game? Another
I think
game?
we should. I think we
Yeah.
must.
Yeah.
I think we shall. Peter?
I don't know what game you're
I think I
talking
know what
about.
time it is. Do you know what time it is?
Is it this game? For what?
Yes. Battle Royale. Do you
All
have
right.
one for us?
I got a real simple one. It's not going to
Okay.
take us a lot of time.
'Kay.
You are making the perfect dog. Period. Dog breeds.
Okay.
You could use any dog breed you like. It's the perfect dog. Head, body,
characteristics?
legs, characteristics. You swing it the way you like. You can incorporate wild dogs if you'd like, meaning jackals,
Any canid. Any
hyenas.
canid will do.
Exactly. Any canid will do. You're going to make yourself the perfect dog. It can be vicious. It can be cute. It can be friendly. It can be something to attract the females. Whatever you want. Snake draft, doggy battle royale.
Okay. Rutep, why don't you go first? You're a dogman. We're all dogmen. All three of us have
You're
dogs.
a dogman. Sir, you are
right,
a
well,
dogman.
My dog is going to be is going to have the intelligence of a poodle because they're very smart, but it will look nothing like a poodle because poodles are very stupid looking and ridiculous.
Okay.
But they're one of the smartest dogs that there are. So I'm going to start with the intelligence and brain power and learning ability of a poodle.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
All right, Forrest, go ahead.
I can go next. I am going to take one of my favorite looking animals off the table early, which is from South America, and I only know the Latin name of it right now. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart as we speak.
It's from the Latin pig.
Sorry, dead air. I don't know why
I tried to fill in.
It's okay. It's a South American dog that looks cool. Forrest knows the Latin name.
I got it. Sorry. Well, it's a maned wolf. I apologize.
Oh,
I just couldn't
they're
think.
so cool
Yeah, they're
looking.
stunning. Large, red. I've seen them at the Endangered Wolf Center in Missouri. They smell like skunks, by the way, which I will not be taking on that characteristic. But if I could have any pet canid, it would be a maned wolf. I just think they're absolutely incredible looking animals. So I'm taking the body of that animal.
Well,
The aesthetic.
imagine the looks you would get taking that to the dog park.
Oh my God, yeah. It'd be insane.
Is it huge?
It's the coolest.
It's huge, I take it, right?
They're very tall. They're not super big, but they have very long legs. They're stunning animals.
Super skinny legs, kind of almost like a fox-looking head. They're
Yep.
kind of reddish coloration. They're fucking cool as shit. If you haven't seen one, Google it immediately.
Yeah, Google maned wolf.
nice.
So I'm taking the aesthetic of a maned wolf, or at least the body and legs.
My dog Luca is my bud, right?
Yeah,
That's the dog that I love.
Yep.
And so I don't want to replace Luca. Luca's my cuddle dog.
Right.
It's my friend.
Yep.
I'm going straight home security with my build.
Okay, there you go.
So I'm going to
So
start
you
with
have Luca. Luca sticks around as a friend, and then you're building this additional
a security dog.
Got
Yeah.
it.
It's
Got
going to protect. It's going to protect the house. It's going to look
Yep.
over the. Yeah. It's going to be great. So I'm going to take the corpse, the head, the body, the looks of an ovcharka, right? A
Okay.
Russian
Yep.
prison dog.
You're
I think it's
obsessed with
also
them. Yep.
yeah, also known as a Caucasian Shepherd. 220 pounds, very furry. They look like a big bear.
Yep.
Huge head.
Yikes.
Just a terrifying appearance. You break into my house, you're just going to look at it, and you're going to
Yep.
go, wrong house.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. Great.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
they're huge. They use their mass to intimidate prisoners in Siberian prisons, but their bite force is a little lacking. So I'm going to take the bite force of a Kangal, right? It's a dog breed that was originally from Turkey. The Kangal has the strongest bite force of any dog, over 700 psi, or pounds per square inch, or whatever it's called. So yeah, that's going to be my first two.
Okay. Great. This is a very terrifying creature that you're creating so
you don't
far.
want to fuck with this.
No.
Yeah.
Peter, you're up.
I'm going for
Actually, he's
Friendly.
not. Forrest, do you not know how these work?
No,
You're
who
up.
No, I'm not. He started.
Yeah, I went last. You
This
went in the
is
middle.
great.
You
Oh,
went in the
shit.
middle.
So
I wrote
good.
it down in the other order. My bad.
Jesus.
Okay.
Sure,
Yeah, I'm an
always an
idiot.
excuse.
This is a mess. All right, so I have got the body and legs of a maned wolf, credible looking animal, very unique. Now, I'm going to go ahead and slap a pug's head on that. Now, just imagine this long, slender, elegant looking dog with this short, fat-nosed, wrinkly face. I mean, it's a train wreck of hilarity. This is a comedian companion. I'm going to give it a pug's head.
It's fun.
a pug's
fine.
head.
Yep.
Okay.
I
right. Now
I
it's my
desperately
turn.
want someone to draw a maned wolf with a pug's head on it. That's,
Yes, me
that's
too. Please
so
draw this.
bizarre.
Yep, very odd.
I right now have a floating brain and the intelligence of a poodle, and around
Okay.
that brain, I am going to add the body of a husky because they're just fucking amazing, and I love them, and they can run fast and pull me on wheels. I used
Lot
to
of
have one pull
lot
me
of
on a
shedding.
skateboard.
A lot of shedding.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great to pet. Love them. They're fantastic.
Okay.
And then it will have the head of a English bulldog. That's right.
Why is that?
Yeah, why that?
Because they're very cute and they look, They're just cute, and I can pet him. He'll be fast, and he's gonna be my buddy. I mean, I'm not scared of my house getting broken into. I don't need a patrol dog. I just want a very smart husky with an English bulldog's head. That's what I've always wanted since day one.
Very good.
Great. Forrest, how are you going to round out your creature?
Yeah, so it's a very confusing animal so far. So
Yeah, it is.
I am going to the only thing I'm going to do in order to change this this maned wolf with a pug's head is I am going to give it the tail of a Basenji. So a Basenji is a dog with a little curly, like pigs-looking tail. So now you've got this long, elegant-bodied animal with this tall neck, this super squat, wrinkly face, this tiny little curly tail. It's a complete mess. Nobody knows what it is. It's unique. I love it. I think it's fun. And I don't know what I'm going to name it.
I am going to round out my security beast by giving my Ovcharka-bodied, Kangal-jawed dog the 300 million scent receptors of a bloodhound.
Wow.
A bloodhound is the dog with the best sense of smell. They can follow a scent trail of something that happened up to 300 hours ago, right? So, Forrest, you got BO, you walk through. 300 hours later, a bloodhound can tell where you walked with its incredible sense of smell. I mean, my dog, they're going to smell the intruder when they first come up off the sidewalk.
So if
I
we
love it.
fight
So
these
scared.
three, who do you think wins?
Mine.
Feel pretty good
Your
about
dog's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Yep. Love it.
Okay.
I won.
Great. I'm going to
Hate it.
recap it. Brosner's weigh in. If anybody wants to draw a maned wolf with a pug's face and a Basenji's tail, that is definitely something I'm curious to see. And that was my pick for just, I think, most bizarre dog companion. Peter went with the brain of a poodle inside of a husky's body with the lovable head of a dribbly English bulldog.
Trick, speed, and attractiveness.
Beautiful.
I don't know where you're getting attractiveness out of that, but I do like it. I like your animal a lot,
Cuteness.
by the way. Patrick's is utterly terrifying. It wins in the battle department, the home security department. It'll probably kill him and eat his face off.
True.
It is the body of an Ovcharka, the bite of a Kangal, and the scent of a bloodhound, which basically just makes it the most alpha dog ever created.
Nice.
Dumb as a box of rocks, though. I didn't even give it a brain.
No, it's brainless.
Yeah, it's just gonna tear everything in your house up and shit everywhere. It's perfect.
All right. Well, Peter, where can
Yeah.
the people find us? What can they do?
Go to the wildtimespodcast.com and all the links are there. Direct list of links, thewildtimespodcast.com. Sorry, fuck that up. Thewildtimespodcast.com/info for all the links. The Patreon is patreon.com/wildtimespod and at wildtimespod to find us on socials everywhere.
Good night.
All right,
Good morning.
We love you.
Goodbye.
Bow, bow, bow.